I tell you, on one hand, this was a government video saying, be calm, we've got this. So I'm like, okay, are we really going to believe this? On the other hand, the fact that they're making this effort when we know the White House doesn't want to see this kind of effort does say something.
So there were two pieces of information, or two efforts. So one was the interview that I did with Bill Evanina, and he is the head, as you said, of counterintelligence for the U.S. government, the top spy hunter. And the other was this public service announcement, which featured Evanina and featured the director of the FBI, the head of Cyber Command. And it was both a warning and reassurance. The warning was there are efforts out there to try and sway the opinions of American voters. There are efforts out there to hack the voting system, and it's happening every single day, and we need to be careful. But he also said, both my interview and the public service announcement said, that these efforts can be and are being dealt with, that the U.S. is firmly aware of this, is going to go after any country, any individual that tries to tip the scales of the U.S. election. And I sat down with Evanina, well, didn't exactly sat down with him, I did a Skype sit down with him over remote, right. And I tried to drill down. We were both sitting down. I tried to figure out what exactly is happening. How detailed is this? Is this just the general aspirations of China and Russia and Iran? Those were the three countries he's talked about most, with Russia pushing for President Trump to be reelected and China and Iran pushing for Biden. I said, is this just a general wish, or is this something that they're specifically doing when it comes to disinformation? And this is a part of that conversation. Is Russia putting out disinformation to help get President Trump elected? And is China actively engaging in a disinformation campaign to help Vice President Biden?
Yeah, they all are. And I would throw Iran in there as well. And I would say we have to open the aperture a little bit, Richard, about what we consider disinformation and influence, right? So when you talk about geopolitically, Vladimir Putin, at the end of the day, wants our country to eat itself. He wants mass chaos here in the U.S., as does China, but not from an economic perspective. So we see both of them, I would say, exacerbating and amplifying social discord on both sides of the aisle.
You said Vladimir Putin wants chaos in the United States, turmoil. Just go outside. Did he win? Did he get what he wants?
Yeah, so as a counterintelligence official, I'll tell you, we're not helping him. And I think every time he sees chaos and dysfunction in the United States, whether it be right versus the left, Antifa versus the white supremacists, he loves that kind of chaos.
Evanina also said something more specific than that even. He said that foreign actors are trying to confuse American voters, to try and give them wrong information, to try and get them to mail in their ballots if they're mailing them in to the wrong place. And he said the best thing that people can do is to be prepared to go out and participate in the voting process and be patient, because he said, and I think by now most Americans know, when it comes to Election Day, we might not have a clear winner. It might take several days for all of the absentee and mail-in ballots to be counted and tabulated.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.